Hey, kids, have you ever met someone who seemed nice but turned out to be not so nice? Well, today I'm going to tell you a story about a little mouse who learned this lesson the hard way. Once upon a time, there was a young mouse who had never seen much of the outside world. One sunny day, he decided to go on an adventure. As he was strolling along peacefully, he turned a corner and found himself in a new yard. There, he saw two very strange creatures. One of them looked very kind and gracious, while the other was the most fearful monster you can imagine. The mouse described it to his mother later, saying, "You should have seen him." On top of his head and in front of his neck hung pieces of raw red meat. He walked about restlessly, tearing up the ground with his toes and beating his arms savagely against his sides. The moment he caught sight of me, he opened his pointed mouth as if to swallow me, and then he let out a piercing roar that frightened me almost to death. Can you guess who the young mouse was talking about? It was nobody but the barnyard cock, the first one the little mouse had ever seen. The mouse continued his tale, saying, "If it had not been for that terrible monster, I would have made friends with the pretty creature who looked so good and gentle. He had thick velvety fur, a meek face, and a look that was very modest, though his eyes were bright and shining. As he looked at me, he waved his fine, long tail and smiled. I am sure he was just about to speak to me when the monster let out a screaming yell, and I ran for my life. The mother mouse sighed and said, 'My son, that gentle creature you saw was none other than the cat. Under his kindly appearance, he bears a grudge against every one of us. The other was nothing but a bird who wouldn't harm you in the least. As for the cat, he eats us. So be thankful, my child, that you escaped with your life, and as long as you live, never judge people by their looks.' So, kids, what did we learn today? Sometimes things aren't always what they seem. It's important to be careful and not to judge others just by their appearance. Thanks for listening, and remember to always stay curious and safe on your adventures. See you next time.